Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Nike Giannis Immortality 2. I wish they would have just called it the Antetokounmpos, you know what I mean? His signature shoe line is called the Zoom Freaks, so I guess you can't really change that. I mean, I just want an Antetokounmpo. I want to say in an entire video, the Antetokounmpo once. That would just be so fun. You know what I mean? But anyways, the Giannis Immortality, the first one, was an amazing shoe, super cheap as well, 80 bucks, and it wasn't a lot of like top list just because it was an amazing shoe to play and I really enjoyed playing this. And the 2 came out, they increased the price by 5 bucks because of inflation or whatever. So that definitely does suck. If you guys do want to cop, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And of course, it's the exact same as the first one, right? But the first one in this colorway that I have, this part is like a semi-translucent outsole, you know what I mean? And I guess this part, this orangey part, a peach color, I don't know, is a solid rubber outsole. And then in this colorway, the 2, it's just a fully solid rubber outsole, and it's weird, right? Same thing happened with the MB1 Low for me. So if you guys didn't watch the video, the MB1 Low has or the colorway that I have is a solid white rubber outsole, and that did not perform as well as the translucent outsoles found in the colorways that I have of the mid. So same thing in the Giannis Immortalities, right? So this has top tier traction. It's absolutely amazing. Amazing bite, really loud squeak as well. But this solid rubber outsole, I needed to break in a little bit, right? Once I did though, it got really good, but I still wouldn't say it's top tier like this. So maybe they changed up the rubber compound, or maybe it has something to do with the semi-translucent part of this shoe. But either way, it was still a solid outsole, right? But it didn't squeak that much, especially not comparing it to the first Giannis Immortality. So if you're playing on a clean court, you have a solid bite, you're gonna be good to go. It's not top tier, but it's very, very nice. As far as dust goes, it does pick up a little bit of dust actually, right? It doesn't pick it up super fast, but I found myself wiping, and the wipe wasn't too easy, right? It was pretty easy, but it was just more like a 1-2, and I was good to go, you know what I mean? If you are playing on a dusty setting, you should be okay if you don't mind wiping. If you do, then it's probably not the best option. And as far as the durability goes, you should be fine. You know, the rubber is super hard. It's a herringbone traction pattern, so if you're playing on an outdoor court, I feel like you should be okay. All right, moving on to the heel to toe transition. Just like the regular Giannis Immortality, it was very smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a crazy curve shape. Look at this. Look at this curvature, you know what I mean? It's super rounded, I guess like pretty exposed midsole. It doesn't feel clunky at all here in the heel. And then here in the forefoot, we have a very nice curve shape and a lot of forefoot flex, but not a whole lot of flex here in the midfoot. Probably, I'm guessing, because there is like a plastic midfoot shank plate. So torsion support is good as well. So when you're doing heel dominant strides down the court, it feels overall pretty damn smooth. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, it's nothing special. It's just a full-length phylon. There's no zoom or anything, but it's actually a softer type of phylon. Remember in old school Nike shoes, like the Kyrie 2s even, if I remember correctly, like the Hyper Live, yeah, I'm taking it back. That's like 7 years ago, right? 5 years ago. Either way, the phylon used to be super stiff, right? Nike's been giving us a little bit softer, you know? There's a little bit of compression, which actually feels nice. Core feels really good, and overall it's a pretty soft, responsive cushioning setup, and I feel like it's pretty nice for an $80 or $85 shoe. Of course, if you want like something super soft or remotely soft, or if you want something bouncy or something like that, then of course this isn't the best option. Also, for impact protection, it's not good, right? If you're doing hard impacts, your feet are definitely gonna hurt, just because, you know, the court feel is good. You know what I mean? You're very low to the ground, and also this foam isn't the softest. So do be careful on hard impacts. But overall, if you're looking for a quick feeling and responsive cushioning setup that has a little bit of compression and a little bit of softness to it, then this is a great option. All right, moving on to the material. So that's obviously the thing that is different from the regular Giannis Immortality, right? You know, so in the first one, we have like a textile material, and then here in the second one, we have like a very open mesh material, right? And it's a lot softer actually, which is a good thing if you're looking for, I guess, comfort, but it's also not good for support, right? And that's what I found myself feeling, you know? So this entire material here in like the midfoot and forefoot isn't super supportive, and when I was playing, my foot would like kind of hit the material and stretch the mesh. I would definitely feel like this material not being as supportive as I would like, as opposed to the regular one, like the first one. It doesn't have as much stretch to it, right? It feels a lot more supportive with this material. But either way, we'll get to that in support. But overall, I mean, we have fuse here going around the tip of the toe, which is good for support, I guess. But here on top and also on the side, it wasn't very good. I feel like they should have put another type of fuse over it, you know what I mean? But anyways, it's good for toe drags though, for durability. And it's an extremely thin material, especially here in the midfoot as well. The tongue has very minimal padding, but also is a half booty construction tongue. And then here in the ankle area, we have very minimal padding as well. So a super minimal feeling material. It feels very nice on foot because it conforms to your foot very well. But of course, like I said, it's not a super supportive material. I mean, this mesh definitely feels super flimsy, right? And I don't think it'll be durable at all, especially comparing it to the first one. The first one also, I have had reports of you guys saying it wasn't super durable. But the 2 feels a lot worse actually. So do be careful on that. So there's the material there. Moving on to the fit. It fits pretty much the same as the Giannis Immortality, but runs a tiny bit longer for me for some reason. There is a little bit more length, but other than that, I mean, it's a pretty narrow fit. But also, this mesh material gets really roomy. And I don't like roomy fits, especially here in the toe box. Like I said, look at that. It stretches out a good amount just because it's a super thin mesh material. And like I keep saying, it doesn't feel super supportive. So yeah, it gets a lot roomier here in the toe box. Also width-wise, because of the stretch, it kind of stretched out a good amount as well. So it feels a little bit wider as far as the overall fit goes here in the toe box as opposed to the regular one, which you would think that this material would stretch out a good amount as well, but it doesn't stretch that much, especially comparing it to this mesh. So yeah, I don't really like the fit all too much anymore. I mean, when I first got it, it was pretty nice. But now that I've played it and broken it in, it's a lot roomier, and I can just curl my toes up and everything. Of course, if you want like a roomier fit, if you like that, then it probably is a better option. But if you like a snug fit, then the 2 definitely is not the way to go. All right, support and lockdown though. All right, so lateral containment, definitely. I feel like, you know, it was pretty good. You know, like I didn't feel my foot coming out of the footpad that much. If you guys can see, we have this like it's like a lime color, right? And it's like a plastic material that goes underneath this mesh. And that does add for a little bit more support, which is a good thing. But just because of the roomier fit and this material not being super supportive, my foot was moving around a good amount here in the forefoot, which I did not like. And we do have an internal heel counter, and also we have these spikes coming up to act as a sidewall, which is a good thing. But here in the forefoot, it was not good, right? So because of that, I felt pretty slow, and yeah, just the support wasn't great. And I feel like if you're a bigger dude, you'll definitely feel it a lot more than me. So be careful on that. Lateral stability is very good though. You know, you have a very wide base, you're low to the ground, you can see how much the outsole and midsole protrude out here on the lateral side in the forefoot. So that's definitely really good for lateral stability. Heel slippage, there was none, so that was all good. It's just the lockdown here in the forefoot for me wasn't the best. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. I mean, this has to be super light, right? If I remember correctly, it's like 10? Yeah, 10.4 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 10.37 ounces. Let's check comparing it to the first Giannis Immortality. Yeah, 10.16 ounces. So this is a little bit lighter, but not by much. But yeah, I mean, it's a very responsive shoe. In the first one, the traction was top tier, and I had 0 issues with support, right? I mean, like I said, it wasn't super supportive. If you want super supportive, you get like the Zion 2 or the Kawhi 2, you know what I mean? Very supportive shoes. Harden Volume 6, Mellow MB1, you know what I mean? I'm pointing over there because that's where the shoes are, but yeah, I mean, I had 0 issues with this. And the Giannis Immortality 2, however, I had a good amount of issues, especially here in the forefoot, right? And with my foot moving around inside of the shoe, I definitely lose responsiveness because of that. And it's not something I really ever want to feel, you know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, if you're a bigger dude, you'll definitely feel it a lot more, and I don't think you guys would like it if you're doing a lot of lateral movements, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely do be careful, but it is a really lightweight and minimal feeling shoe. All right, moving on to the ventilation, it's amazing, right? If you look at the tongue as well. It's a super open mesh, and also this mesh material in the forefoot. Lots of airflow. Material is super thin, so ventilation is really, really good here in the Giannis Immortality 2. And as far as the aesthetics go, it's all right. You know, I definitely feel like the first one looks a lot better, right? And I feel like the colorways that have come out in the first one are a little bit better as well. But it still looks pretty good, right? I guess. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics. Like, what do you guys think of this reverse swoosh as well? So tell us down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the Giannis Immortality 2, it's not terrible. I could definitely play in it, but it definitely wasn't something that I enjoyed that much, especially now that I have like just the regular Giannis Immortality, the first one. I also have backups like the PG6, and I found myself going to those other shoes to enjoy playing in those shoes, because I didn't really enjoy the Giannis Immortality 2 that much, right? So if I was to recommend something, I would just recommend the first one. You know, just get the first one. And if you can't get the first one, do not get the second one. Look somewhere else. But if you really want to get it, you should be okay. You know what I mean? It's not terrible, but there definitely are a lot better options out there. But anyways, that about concludes my review of the Nike Giannis Immortality 2. If you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave affiliate links to both of these shoes down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.